Hi everybody, I received these bookmarks and they come with the tassels, different sizes, different shapes. There's some skinny ones here, some wider ones and some rounded. And I do have another set, but I will only use these for demonstration today. And then on Amazon, I got these dried flower pieces. There's some butterfly stickers as well. So the reason I ordered these from Amazon, I've tried drying my own flowers and they tend to just curl up. So I'm also going to be using some 4-hour fast cure resin by Resin. And fast cure is a little different to work with. I'm going to put that on here, it's a bit sticky. So let me mix my resin and we will be back. My resin is mixed. I'm going to use this bubble machine that takes out all the bubbles, because the majority of these bookmarks are going to be clear. And I've mixed up 7 ounces of the 4-hour quick dry. So I got this recently and it's just fantastic. You turn it around and you have modes which are 5 or 10 minutes. So I'm going to give this 5. When that's finished, I'll come back and fill the bookmarks. I've debubbled my resin, and even though that bubble machine does either 5 or 10 minutes, I prefer to just do 5 minutes and then if it needs more, add another 5 minutes rather than 10. But anyway, it's beautifully clear. I'm going to transfer this into a better pourable paper Dixie cup. I'm going to pinch a little nozzle. And this is done in like 2 stages. This is the first layer and it won't have any flowers on it. When it's dry, I'll put the flowers or symbol. And then when that's finished, I will do UV resin on top, which dries really quickly. So let me just put this in. I'm going to do 2 of each. Now I've done these before with just UV resin, which is, it's good for teaching with, but they're very bendy. And so you really have to do a top coat of proper resin. The 4-hour resin is a little more, it's thicker and less bendy. If that makes sense. I might make more. Got a lot of resin here. Okay. Oh, I've got tons of resin. I may as well make a lot of bookmarks. So I made up 7 ounces of resin. Oh, there's a little gremlin in there. Take that out. I also have some white resin ink pigment here that I'm going to do one with a solid colour. I'm going to add more to my little Dixie cup. Let's see if that's enough. I've also put down my rubber mat, which is really good for cleanup because the resin just peels straight off it. So let's see if I can get... I've got lots of other pigment colours. I normally use alcohol inks, but they are very translucent. So let me add some more in here. Maybe I'll do a couple of white ones. There we go. Okay, so let me do one in this colour, or white I should say. See, the resin pigments are very opaque, and alcohol inks work really well too. You just need to make sure that they don't, you know, they're not too see-through. So I'm going to spread these out a little bit in their little moulds. Go around the edges. Okay. Okay, I leveled my surface just by putting some wooden sticks under it. And the other thing that you need to pay attention to is, let me get a little stick, using a toothpick or a pokey stick like this. Just wipe that off because that's got some black on it. So I used up all the resin on all of these, so a little bit of black went in these. So really what you have to make sure is that all the sides are covered, and you can do this with a pokey stick. Like just run it around the edge, and they're not filled to the brim because I've got another layer of resin going over this. They all look good. I'm going to use my torch, this one. See, there's a bit of a gap there. You need to make sure that you have a solid layer of the hard resin first. I mean, UV resin is hard, but it's not as strong as regular resin. There's another one here. Just make sure that's all up. So that looks good. So I did 2 whites, a black swirly one, and this one needs touching up. So now I'm going to wait for this to dry. When it's dry, I've got my dried flowers to put on them. I've also got these sticker quotes. So you can add stickers to them if you like. So I'll decide which ones to put on once they are dry, and I will see you. Now it's time to decorate. I've decorated some. I'm going to demonstrate 2 for you, but it's quite fiddly. These little flowers, they're real dried flowers and very, very delicate. And I think I'm going to do, and also on here I've got stickers here, and the treble clef and the music note. So I think I'm going to pick another phrase. And here's I've got lots and lots of stickers here. So let's do one. Let's do a turquoise one. And sometimes these stickers are difficult to get off. There we go. Let your ideas bloom. Let's put that there. All right, that kind of lends itself for, I've got little hearts here. I'm going to put a heart on there too. Little sticker. and then some dried flowers to decorate. I have a blue packet somewhere. Yeah, let's use these. So, and these break really easily. So let your ideas bloom. Let's put this on here. And another blue flower on top. That's cute. Okay, I'm just going to demonstrate on these 5. So I've got Let's Resin UV resin, and this is the hard type of, I don't know what brand that is actually, but as I've opened this one already, let's use this. And we're just very carefully going to go over each one. Like so, and straighten this out with the pokey stick right so it covers the whole thing right to the edges. And it's good to go around the edges with this anyway to help with any trapped bubbles. Right. Careful not to tear the flowers because they're so delicate. And I'm going to check with my light a little closer so I can really see if I've missed anything. What do I have here? Okay, that's looking good. Let's pick out any little stray pieces. So I'm going to do that with the rest of them. In the meantime, the way you dry UV resin is with an ultra violet light. So I'm just going to put that over there. And that's on for 60 seconds. I think I'm going to do it for 120 seconds. Okay, now it's time to unravel the bookmarks. So these are the kind of oval shaped ones. They came out so beautifully. No bubbles. They're just perfect. Really perfect. And great gifts for Christmas. And then I stumbled into a bit of a chaos in the block ones, you know, the just rectangular ones, because, okay, this one is good, a couple of air bubbles in it, but that doesn't matter, it doesn't spoil the whole effect. I'm going to pull you down a little closer. Excuse my hand. Yeah, these are the rectangular ones. So the other thing you need when you're doing this is a nail file that's got that soft edge to it, like a buffer, because when you put your fingers along this, it can be a little rough. So just take a gentle side of the nail file, and that's now completely smooth, completely smooth. So those, and then I ran into this problem. Let me pull this one out. This is rough here, but it's actually the flower pulling off. So when you take your finger over it, you can just take a nail file and lightly sand this area here. So that's that one. Now, let's take this one because I know which is the problem one I want to. This has many rough edges, I don't know why, but they're super easy to take care of. Oh, there's a rough spot. You just have to run your finger down it, or your thumb, or whatever finger you feel like using. That's better. Now, I don't know if you can see this little tiny area here is a leak. So that has to come off. Now, if you use regular sandpaper, it's going to make it scratchy. That's where you have to do the buffing. Now, so it's gone. That's gone. That's perfect. Okay, I have 3 more. I'll do those off camera. Now this is where it gets tricky. These are, let me move this out of the way. Doesn't distract you. These are completely co-joined because I put too much resin in the molds and they are linked to each other. You can't use your heat gun directly on these bookmarks because it will tinge the edges a kind of brownish, burnt looking thing. So we're going to put this in hot water and then use an X-Acto knife and separate them both, and that should be perfect. All right, so I have poured boiling hot water into this little tray, and I'm going to put these 2 co-joined bookmarks in, and it will make it really, really flexible. And then what we will do is take an X-Acto knife to cut them apart, and then hopefully the final thing will be I can use my nail file to like smooth the edges down. So let's let this sit for 10 minutes and I will be back. Okay, let's go back to the ones I'm heating up because I need to separate them, and it might take 2 goes to do this, but they've been sitting in this pool of boiling hot water. They're already more flexible. So what I would do with this is just take my X-Acto knife down. The thing is, get them separated. It's kind of like the basic thing. Just separate them, and then you can file and sand. There we go. Oh. 1. And because this edge is so thick, it's going to take scissors, industrial scissors, to just cut that edge off. And cut it with the X-Acto knife. So now what I think I'm going to do is, this one looks pretty good actually. I think I'm going to soak them in another boiling hot bath, and then I can sand them down. So bear with me, I will be back. Okay, let's get back to these two naughty ones. I'm going to take scissors first to trim it the best I can. And maybe this is just a fail. You know, sometimes it just does not work. But I'm going to, basically what I'm going to do is just trim everything off. The other thing you can do is take a knife, like I have some knives here, or even the X-Acto knife, and heat it up. Heat the blade. It'll glow red in a minute. There, see it's glowing. Kills your blade, but it's art. And then take that, and that will slowly and completely, see how that's happening? Take the edge off the pieces you don't want on them anymore. So kind of this is the best way to correct. It's not even a mistake. There was just too much resin in there. So I'm going to heat the blade again. The heat doesn't last long on the blade, so you have to be aware about that. Anyway, so it's nice and hot. I can slice through it like butter. Did you see that? I'm going to do the same on all sides. I've got this to take off and then this bit to take off. So I'm going to do that off camera because it would be really boring for you to watch all of this. So I will be back when they're all trimmed. Hooray! They are all finished. This was a conjoin. These two were the ones that were co-joined. And, you know, using an X-Acto knife, heating up the blade and just slicing them off. And I'm really happy with these. They make great gifts. These are my skinny ones. Not that impressed with the skinny ones, to be honest. I don't think they have enough space to take the stickers, but you know, you could do them with a background colour. And these are beautiful. These oval ones are just gorgeous. Really, really happy with those. Just shows you this was a white background with the resin tint. Yep, I'm happy and very good about this process going forward. Must remember not to overfill the mold. Anyway, I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.